Hey y'all, this is Healing Honey and we're back with another video. I hope that y'all are doing amazing. I hope that y'all had an amazing week. I hope that something amazing happens for you and to you today. So today's video will be about communicating with the subconscious mind. So when I say communicating with the subconscious mind, for some that don't know, the subconscious mind is the mind that's always listening. The subconscious mind stores memory, it stores trauma, it stores past lives, it stores all the pains, the things you don't want to talk about. It stores so many different things that we can't see with our physical eyes, right? So it's the subconscious mind and it's the conscious mind. And the conscious mind is me right now talking to you in this video. The conscious mind is who's majority of the time who's running the show. But in reality, the subconscious mind who's run the show. It just runs the show without us knowing. So we think that our conscious mind is the reason why we make certain decisions or we think certain ways, but in reality, it is our subconscious mind. So our subconscious mind has, over the years, have stored so many different things, and it stores thoughts and projections of other people. It stores all the things you was told when you was a child that you thought you forgot about. Yeah, it stores that. It stores so many different things, your fears, your doubts, the things you don't tell people. It stores all of that, right? So communicating with the subconscious mind, I believe that I started to communicate with my subconscious mind. It would have to be my first dream journey. Let's talk about it. So my first dream journey was 2019. I started my journey. And when I say journey, I'm talking about my healing journey, my self-discovery journey, my self-love journey, right? So my first dream journey, shrooms, ayahuasca, which is another type of herb that helps you communicate with your subconscious mind. But shrooms, my first journey, I don't know if I mentioned this before, so I'm going to mention it again just in case I didn't. My first journey was on the beach, and it was with my godmother, my wife, and 2 other people. So, we microdose. And when I say we microdose, I mean we didn't take a large amount, right? It was our first time. It probably was like 1 gram, 1.5 grams. So what I remember is me closing my eyes and me seeing different geometric shapes and symbols, right? That was my subconscious mind communicating with me, as well as I was seeing the sand. The sand was moving and communicating with me. Y'all, if y'all hear anything in the background, I am washing right now, so that's the washroom. Just letting y'all know. The sand was communicating with me, as well as the moon. It was a full moon, and the full moon was like this close to us. It was very, very close and very, very big, right? So, I remember that night, and I remember unlocking something that night. I didn't know what I was unlocking, but I was unlocking something that night. And I remember one of the goddesses that was on the journey with us, her name is Audrey. She had kept saying, she was like, our gifts are being awoke, but it's up to us and what we're gonna do with our gifts. And if you mistreat your gift, if you misuse your gifts, that's up to you, right? So after that journey, my whole life changed. My whole life changed. It's like once I took them shrooms, I feel like everything else that I blacked out, everything that I forgot about, everything that I suppressed started to come up. And a lot of people like, oh, I don't want to have to deal with that. What you mean? All these other things started to come out. Yes. Once you start your healing process, baby, it's so many other things that's going to come up for you to address, for you to see, for you to feel, for you to process, for you to work through, right? So all these different things over the years, it didn't just happen just, fast. It didn't just happen overnight. But of course, over the years, it just seemed like so many different things was coming up that I suppressed. So many different things was coming up that I forgot about. So I remember after that, I think I mentioned this on my channel before. I ended up going to this goddess retreat. And did we take shrooms? We could have took shrooms. I think we took shrooms. The goddess had gave us herbs, water, and different things to pour on ourselves to cleanse. Because I talked about in my hoodoo and voodoo video that we can use water, we can use herbs, we can use oils, we can use all these different elements to help cleanse, to help heal, to help release, to help remove, right? And I remember pouring the water on me and screaming. And when I say screaming, I talked about how screaming, crying, is a way to release energy. It's a way to move stagnant energy. It's a way to release. That's something that my godmother taught me. So I'm guessing, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm guessing when I screamed and released, it wasn't enough. I'm guessing, I guess other people can tell that it was still some more that I was holding on to. It was still some more I needed to let go of. Because the next day, we ended up going to the beach, right? It was nighttime. It was a group of us. We ended up going to the beach and we was giving an offering to Yemejah. And I remember us doing another head rinsing, but we used the water from the beach. We used the water from the ocean, right? And I remember a goddess telling me, she was like, oh yeah, because yesterday, she said, you still got some more to release. You still got some more to do. And when she said that, I'm like, what you talking about, girl? I just did that yesterday. Was that not enough? Like, what are you talking about, right? So I remember, doing that, pouring the water over me and me screaming. And everybody was like, that's what we're talking about. That right there, that releasement, that's what you needed, right? You was holding on to some things. You didn't fully release. And I'm not saying after I released this at the beach, it was one and done. Baby, that's not how this journey work. That is not how this journey work, right? So I remember that, okay? I also remember getting woke up out my sleep. I mentioned this before in one of my videos. Getting woke up out my sleep due to the dream I had. Now, the subconscious mind communicates in symbols, animals, numbers, in your dream realm. So I woke up out my sleep crying because due to what I seen in my dream. So that in itself was telling me it's still some more work you need to do. It's still some things you need to address and handle, right? My subconscious mind was communicating with me. It's still some work you need to do. You're not fully done on this journey. You're not fully done. There's still some things you need to work on. So, as well as I feel when I started at the beginning of my journey, I found so many people on YouTube, that gave me inspiration, that gave me clarity on what I was dealing with on what I was seeing in my reality, on what I was experiencing on my journey. Of course, everybody's journey is different. Of course, everybody's experience is different. But I had some type of clarity. I had some type of community, even though it wasn't in my physical realm. I was still able to see these people and learn from them. See these people and know that it is certain things that I can do to tap in within myself. This one goddess, I mentioned her before. Her name is Conjure Queen. She started talking about shadow work. What is shadow work, girl? What is shadow work? So shadow work is you addressing your subconscious mind, you addressing all your demons. And when I say demons, the things you don't want to talk about, the things you suppress, the things that makes you feel bad, the things from your childhood, right? She said, I'm gonna give y'all an example. Y'all can do it if y'all want to each his own. She said, using a black candle, you can tap into your subconscious mind. Stand into a black candle, you can tap into your subconscious mind, because it's in the dark, right? It's unseen, right? It's in the shadows, right? So you gotta tap into that part of us. Everybody has shadows. Everyone have a shadow. So I started to meditate on the black candle, stand into the black candle, and it just seems like another part of me awoke, another aspect of me awoke. And I feel I left, well, how can I say? The glam and glamour. And when I say the glam and glamour, on this journey, it's easy to see people dressing different. It's easy to see people wearing crystals. I wore crystals, okay? It's easy to see people wearing hair wraps. Okay, I wore hair wraps. It's not about the tools. It's not about what you put on. It's not about the aesthetics of things. And it's easy to see people are making this healing journey a trend, right? And to each his own. But when I start really getting to the nitty gritty, all those other things are just tools. But what work are you doing on the inside? What are you truly doing? What healing work are you truly doing on the inside? Because it's going to show and you're going to know. And when I say you're going to know, you constantly are going to get nudged. You constantly are going to know that it's something else that you may need to work on by your environment, by your subconscious mind, by the messages that you get, by the dreams that you have. Your dreams are communicating with you 24/7, regardless if you are aware of it or not, regardless if you know what is happening or not, right? So after meditating on that black candle, I consistently started to do it, and other things started to awake within me. So, as well as using rapé. What is rapé? So, rapé is a Native American herb that you take through your nose. And when I say you take it through your nose, it is a ceremony herb. Now, shrooms and rapé is two different things. Rapé more so clears any blockages in the moment, as well as open you up to your senses. And when I say open you up to your senses, sometimes us being in this human body, we don't use our senses. So sometimes we only use our 5 senses, right? Hearing, touch, sight, and smell. But I don't know if y'all ever watched the movie Sense. In that movie, the child was able to see dead people. The child was able to see and communicate with dead people. So we all have the ability to see beyond the realm. We all have the ability to see through the veil. If you take certain things, if you're tapped in within yourself. So I remember taking rapé for the first time. It was me and my wife and my godmother and herb man. He sells herbs and he is my godmother best friend. That's what you can call him. He's my godmother best friend. And he had some rapé. And I remember going downtown to the spiritual shop that we was going to at that moment. And us, okay, let me tell y'all the story. So for the weekend, we went to my godmother's house. This is about 2019. We went to my godmother's house for the weekend, and we was drinking on Stroom pineapple juice. It was like Strooms, pineapple, oranges, right? So for that weekend, we was microdosing. Now this is our second time being on Strooms since the beach, right? So we downtown at the shop, at the spiritual shop downtown, chilling, you know. And this is our first time meeting herb man like that. So I remember me and my wife, and we hear him say, "Yeah, they ready." What you mean, yeah, they ready? What we ready for? I was trying to figure out what we about to do and what we ready for. So what I'm getting is he was able to see that we was ready to take the rapé, that we was energetically ready to take the rapé. Now it's different type of rapés. It's some good for your third eye, your crown chakra, for joy, for clarity. It's different type of rapés, right? So we took the rapé later on that night with my godmother. Now she have a tool. It's a tool that come with the rapé, and the other person gotta blow it in your nose. And when they blow it in your nose, it's a burning feeling, but you can't swallow, and you gotta let it sit for like 5 minutes, I think, without swallowing and without wanting to blow it out of your nose. After the 5 minutes, you blow your nose, and it's gonna be mucus or snot on the paper towel, and you're going to see a shape, and that shape is the message. The shape is a symbol. The shape is showing you something or telling you something, right? So after that, I felt so cleared. I felt so aligned with what was happening around me. I felt so tuned in to the subtle changes in the air. And when I say the subtle changes in the air, you're able to feel when different energies come into our room. And when I say that, when you're attuned with yourself and attuned with your body, you're able to see and sense different energies in the room. So I remember that, and that's another tool to communicate with your subconscious mind, because you're cleansing your auric field, you're cleansing your chakras, you're cleansing some of that residue that is in your subconscious mind. Now, this is not something that you do one time and it's done. The same thing with shrooms. It's not something that you do one time and it's done. And let me say this. Every shroom that I've took has been the mushroom itself. I don't go to smoke shops and get no shrooms, because those candies and those type of things and gummies in the smoke shops, they have different type of chemicals in them. So I'd rather me get the shroom straight from the ground, straight from Mother Nature, than me get it in something else. So I would say, if you ever decide to go on a shroom journey, be open. When I say be open, don't go into anything expecting anything. Go into it with an open mind, as well as go into it with someone you trust and someone that you know that's going to care for you. And when I say care for you, When you're on a journey, I mentioned this before, but when you're on a journey, and say you and your friend go on a journey together, because y'all on this ceremony mushroom, because the Native Americans took shrooms during ceremony, because you're on this mushroom, y'all are connected. Y'all decided to take it together, so y'all are connected at this point in this moment of time. So y'all gonna be able to feel y'all own shit, but y'all gonna be able to feel each other's shit, right? And on a strong journey, you're dealing with the ego and you're dealing with your spirit. And when I say you're dealing with your ego is the one that wants to hold on to the shit. Your ego is the one that don't want to let the shit go, right? But your spirit, your higher self, wants nothing but the best for you, right? So you have to be on a strong journey with someone that you truly trust and they trust you, because you're going to go through different emotions. And if you're not on the journey with someone that you truly trust, that person is not going to know how to handle it. As well as, I don't go on strong journeys with everybody, because I know how sensitive I am, which I have been on strong journeys with multiple people in the past. But I had to learn that for myself, right? Now, if you ever decide to do shrooms, I do suggest that you do your first journey during the day and then do another journey at nighttime if you decide to. And I say that because day journeys and night journeys are two different things. Now, during the day journey, you may experience some crying. You may experience some laughter. You may experience some confirmations. And when I say confirmations, I remember one time going to the crystal shop. And when I say the crystal shop, it's this crystal shop in Livingston that is amazing. But anyways, I remember being on shrooms in the car, my wife, my godmother, and I think it could have been one more person. I don't remember the person right now. But anyways, I remember going on the journey and being in the car on the way to Livingston. It's daylight, y'all. So this song came on called Butterfly. Now, anybody that truly knows me, I resonate with butterflies. And I say I resonate with butterflies because I feel like I'm always going through this birth and rebirth aspect of myself or in my life. So it was this song called Butterfly by Brandon Banks. I love Brandon Banks. He started to sing on the radio. Now, mind y'all also, I should tell y'all this. When you're on a journey and when you're not on a journey, but mostly when you're on a journey, music will speak to you. And when I say music will speak to you, it is messages in music. If you pay attention, you have to be aware of these things. If you're not aware, how would you know? How could you even understand what is happening if you're not aware, right? So when the song came on, I didn't heard this song before, I think I heard this song before, I don't remember. But anyways, when the song had came on, I started crying. But it wasn't sad tears. It was happy tears. It was happy tears because it just made me realize everything I went through in life was for this moment. Everything that I experienced in life was for this moment. And when I say this moment, I mean this moment of clarity. This moment of understanding. This moment of remembering. This moment of feeling free. Because a butterfly, you can't hold no butterfly down, baby. A butterfly is free and is able to fly anywhere it wants to fly. And yes, the butterfly had to go through a transitioning period, right? To get to the butterfly. First it was a caterpillar, then it had to get to a butterfly. It had to get in the cocoon and go within itself to become a butterfly, right? So I'm crying, but these are happy tears. These are happy tears. Tears of releasement, tears of joy, tears of understanding myself, right? So I remember that, and it was beautiful. I also remember night trips. And when I say night trips, I'm gonna mention this again because I feel I mentioned this before. If I have, y'all gonna hear it again. But one night trip I had, it could have been Halloween. I feel like it was Halloween. And everybody know, Halloween, baby, the veil is thin. You're gonna be seeing things, you're gonna be hearing things, people gonna be shape-shifting and everything. So I remember going to the voodoo shop. It was the voodoo temple that I said I was associated with, right? My wife, me, my godmothers, other people there. We on shrooms, y'all. I already had the intention to release something. If you're going on any type of shrooms, I'm never just doing shrooms to get high. I'm never just doing shrooms just to be cool. I'm never just doing shrooms just to do them. I always have some type of intention when I'm doing shrooms. A lot of people find shrooms and just do it every day just to get high. The shroom is from the earth. So that means that the shroom is intelligent. That shroom know if you're really going on this trip for a purpose, or if you're going on this trip to get high or have fun, right? I'm not saying you can't go on shrooms and have fun, but be intentional on everything that you do. This is not another escape way. This is not another way to escape your reality. This is not what shrooms is for. So I remember already having an attention on what I wanted to release that night. I wanted to release everything associated with the woman that raised me, right? So mind y'all, we go to the temple, we in the temple. I don't know how many shrooms we took. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I don't think it was 3 grams, but anyways, we go to the temple, we in there. They started kicking in. They was kicking in. When they kick in, you start to feel like antsy. You start to feel things. You start to feel yourself, and you start to feel other people around you. So I remember being upstairs in the temple. It was a room full of us. Everybody wasn't in the room though, but it was a couple people in the room. My girl, she was in there. It was some more people. And I remember me telling my godmother, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready to release this, because you can feel that shit. And it's like a push. And when I say it's like a push to release that shit, right? A push within. It starts to irritate you. It starts to irritate you because it's something that you're holding on to. So I had my paper, and when I say my paper, everything I wrote down, wanted to release what I wanted to release about this woman that raised me, right? So my godmother take me outside. We go across the street from the temple. And I remember me and my wife being so connected. She was able to feel me. And she was looking for me. She was like, where my girl at? Where my girl at? Where she at? Trying to save me, trying to protect me, right? So I remember going outside with my godmother, me having the paper, me having the lighter, you know, wanting to release it. And I also remember the conversation that we had before I burnt the paper. I was like, I want to be free. I want to be free. And she was like, what she said? She said, if you want to be free, to set yourself free or something like that, she said. And when she said that, it's like something shifted in me. And I'm like, low-key, I'm playing. Like, low-key, like, let me get this over with, because this back and forth shit is not doing anything. It's irritating me, myself, right? So I remember burning the paper. And when I burnt that paper, baby, that scream, Maya. Before we even went across the street, my godmother had told the Hogan that was over the temple, you may hear some screaming, so I'm just letting you know already, right? Okay. So when I burnt that paper and I screamed, releasing the energy, releasing the pain, releasing the trauma, right? It's like everybody in the neighborhood heard me. It's like everybody in the neighborhood heard me. And I remember, y'all hear that? Just the washer. I remember my wife coming out there looking for me, wanting to hold me, wanting to nurture me because of what I was doing, what I was releasing. And I remember my godmother not allowing her to do that, because sometimes when we care about someone, when we love someone, when we want to protect them and make sure they don't have hurt, make sure that they're not in pain, make sure that they can be there for us, right? But I remember my godmother not allowing her, but my godmother being the person to hold me, my godmother being the person to be there for me. My wife was right there, but my godmother said she has to release this herself. It doesn't mean that you can't be right here to guide her and to be in her corner, but she has to release this. So my godmother was there and she held me like a baby. And I remember just crying and screaming, crying and screaming. And I remember also in that moment thinking, this is the only woman outside of my wife that I've ever been vulnerable with since I left that house, right? Since I left that environment. And it was a mothering energy. It was a caring energy. It was a you're okay energy. I'm here for you energy. And I also remember me having boogers, me having snot, me having tears everywhere. And I remember her not caring, my godmother not caring that I got boogers on her, my godmother not caring that I had snot on her, my godmother not caring that I had all these tears on her, right? And in that moment, I knew that it was okay to be vulnerable. I'm trying out the car. I knew in that moment that it was okay to release, that I was safe, and that my feelings mattered. I went majority of my life outside of my spiritual journey. I went majority of my life feeling unsafe, feeling not cared for, feeling not important. And for this woman I just met maybe 6 months ago to be there for me, to hold me, to tell me it's going to be okay, it hit different. It hit so different. Now, I mentioned my godmother on this channel multiple times, and soon she will be on here with me doing a video. But one thing I would say about my godmother, she's far from judgmental. When I say she's far from judgmental, she don't judge people when they're releasing something. She guides them. She doesn't do the work. I said this before. She doesn't do the work for people, but she would guide you on the journey. She will hold your hand on the journey. And I thank her for that. I thank her for being a safe space in my life when I didn't feel safe in that moment, when I didn't feel safe my majority of my life. Communicating with the subconscious mind. It's so many different tools that you can use to communicate with your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind is always listening. The most prominent time to communicate with your subconscious mind will have to be right when you wake up and when you go to sleep, because you're just getting from that energy. You're just coming from the astral realm when you wake up, and then when you go to sleep, it's easier to program yourself. Now, when I say program, I've talked about how we are computers and we have the ability to program ourselves. Now, we have been programmed over our whole life, but we have the ability to program ourselves, right? So listening to affirmations is cool, but if you don't truly believe the affirmations, does they really matter? As well as subliminals. Now, I've talked about subliminals on here, but I have not went deep into subliminals. So when I talk about subliminals, let's talk about it. In your everyday show, in your everyday music, in your everyday commercials, there are subliminals. And when I say there are subliminals, there are messages behind what you see and what you hear. Now, on the movie, I think it's called They're Alive or They're Real. I'm gonna have to put it in the video. I don't remember right now. They see, it's something. I don't have to put it in the video. But in the video, in the movie, they show us how there's subliminal messages in marketing. And when I say in marketing, when we go to the stores, you go in there for one thing, right? You go in there for some pasta sauce, maybe some spinach, right? But by the time you leave out the store, you got all this other stuff in there. How did that happen? Maybe there's subliminal messages behind the products. Just because you can't see it does not mean it's not there. So it is certain subliminal messages that music have behind the frequencies, behind the beats, right? And then there's subliminal messages behind commercials. Why do you think that they constantly show you the same commercials over and over again? They're programming you. I remember they kept showing the Wingstop commercial maybe like a month ago. They just kept showing it. They kept showing it on TV. Next thing you know, I'm saying, I want some wings. Mind you, I don't even eat chicken. I eat seafood. So I'm like, that's not me. That didn't come from me. Programming, subliminal messages. And they're everywhere. They're in school. They're in marketing. They're in TV. They're on social media. So you gotta question yourself. Is that really what I want? Or is that really how I feel? Or is that being projected on me by subliminals unawarely? You're not aware of it. You're not aware of what's happening, right? Subliminals as well can program you for things that you want. For example, say that you want to work on self-love. They have subliminals on YouTube so you can listen to while you go to sleep. And slowly but surely, your subconscious mind will start to adapt the subliminal into your everyday life. And over time, you will start feeling different. you will start seeing is something different. You may not be aware of what's happening, but it's something that's happening behind the scenes. See, we do different things in this earthly realm, and we think that things are supposed to just move like that. Now, sometimes it can. It's a possibility. But it's other times where we do certain things and it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. Because we know, right? We know, I've said before, things happen first in the spiritual realm before it happens in the physical realm. So you wanting to be a millionaire, what if you're already a millionaire? What if you're already a millionaire in the spiritual realm, but you're waiting on the physical realm to catch up with the spiritual realm, right? So sometimes we let our physical realm dictate how we feel, what we feel, and it also dictates the decisions we make. We may do things we don't really want to do because of our physical reality, and we're seeing this need to be taken care of. I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this. But in reality, never Goddard talks about how you're really just seeing the residue of who you used to be in your reality. And I say that because the 3D is slower than the spiritual realm. So that being said, if you have been doing the work and pouring into yourself constantly, say you've been doing it for 6 months, you like, I'm not seeing the results. I don't see nothing different. Right? You have to realize that it's happening behind the scenes. Things are happening for you behind the scenes all the time. Things are working out for you behind the scenes all the time. You're just not aware of it because you let your physical eyes, instead of your first eye, dictate everything. Right? Right. So, communicating with the subconscious mind, as well as you using the mirror to communicate with your subconscious mind. Now, this is a technique that I found myself. I'm not saying that I made this technique up. It's other people that may do it. But my spirit told me to do this technique. So I stare in the mirror. I intentionally stare in my left eye in the mirror. I try not to blink, but if I gotta blink, I blink. I set a timer for 5 to 10 minutes. Staring into this eye, my left eye, because my left eye is connected to my subconscious mind. This eye is connected to my logical mind, and our logical mind is what we use majority of the time. So, staring into my left eye in the mirror, things started to shift in the mirror. Things started to shift in the restroom. Wasn't as focused, right? We're taught to focus our eyes. We're taught to see straight. When you stare into your left eye in the mirror, you will start to see the illusion around you that you are not really who you think you are. And as you do it more and more, you will realize you may cry. And when I say you may cry, it's because you're connecting to your subconscious mind, where all your trauma is, where all your pain is, where all your past lives are. So, when you stare into your left eye, you may cry. You may even see your auric field around you. I remember me doing it, and all I just seen was a yellow, golden light surrounding me. Right? So these are different techniques that we can use to tap in within ourselves. Now, if you're not ready to face yourself, if you're not ready to heal yourself, if you're not ready to tap in with yourself, maybe that's not something you should do. If you're scared of yourself, if you're scared of your power, If you're scared of the things you're going to talk about, maybe it's not something you should do. Not to say it's fearful, not to say that you're going to be scared, but you're facing you in your eyes. You're facing you face to face, and you can't hide from you. You can't run from you. Now, this is a technique you can do without strings. It's you with you. And some people don't want to face them. And because they don't want to face them, they would never do that technique. And guess what? That technique didn't cost them no money. It was free. Everybody got a mirror in their house. Everybody got a mirror in their house. It's free. But anyways, another technique that you can use to communicate with your subconscious mind is writing something on a paper and putting it under your pillow and see what happens. It may take time, but see what happens. Even going online and searching different geometric shapes, figuring out what the meaning of that shape means. It's a shape called, I think it's called the tree of life, if I'm not mistaken. Geometric shape. It's different geometric shapes that you can search online. Draw them out on a piece of paper and put it under your pillow. See what happens. Draw the shape out. Draw it on the paper. Sit down on the shape. When I say sit down on the shape, take that piece of paper after you drew on that paper, that shape on that paper. Sit on that shape and meditate and see what happens. It may not be a major change. It may not be something that you see shift instantly, but over time, it will. Another way you can tap in with your subconscious mind and communicate with your subconscious mind is you doing mantras. Now, I talked about mantras before. It's when we speak certain tones, certain words to tap into our higher selves, to tap into our chakra system, to tap into ourselves. So over time, when you're doing different mantras, you will start to see a shift within your being. You will start to see a shift within your reality. They have all types of mantras. Mantras for the moon, which I did today. Mantras for Saturn, which I do on Saturdays. Mantras for higher consciousness, which you can tap into. Mantras for the chakras. I got a video on my channel talking about mantras for your root chakra. What is your root chakra? It's the chakra at the base of your spine. That is the foundation for a lot of things in your life. Security, grounding, trauma, your childhood environment, self-love. All these different things, even money is connected to it. All these different things are connected to that chakra. And by you chanting that mantra, you can start to heal that chakra. You can start to open that chakra. You can start to remove blocks from that chakra. This work is not something that you do one time and it's done, because we are energetic beings. We're constantly being around people, and we're constantly feeling emotions of ourselves and others, regardless if you're aware of it or not. So that being said, you don't work on your chakras one time and then it's done. That's not how it works. It's something that you constantly have to work at. It is something that you constantly have to make sure is clear within yourself. And being aware that it's different things that can be connected to different chakras in your body. Remember how I said that a lot of the times what we don't let go of and what we hold on to stays within our bodies, stays within our cells, stays within our subconscious mind. So different diseases, different illnesses starts in the spiritual realm first. That means in the chakra system first, and then they become physical diseases and illness. Sometimes some people are sick due to the thoughts that they have. So if you're always thinking negative, what do you expect? Do you think a negative mind can have a healed and healthy body? How is that possible? How is it possible to have a healthy and healed body if you're always being negative? If you're always talking down to yourself? If you're always judging yourself? If you're always judging others? We gotta be aware of these things. These things that we think is normal, but they're not. It's not normal at all. We gotta be aware though. We have to be aware. And some of us was taught to lower ourselves, to dim our lights, to talk bad about ourselves because that's all we know. That's all we was around growing up. That's all we heard. But that's why it's so important to do the inner work. That's why it's so important to do the subconscious work, because your subconscious have so many different mysteries and treasures and jewels that's waiting on you. We can say that the subconscious mind is so dark and so bad, but in reality, that's where all the treasure is, baby. In your subconscious mind, that's where all your dormant gifts are. That's where all your goodness is. But we're not aware of it because we're not taught that, right? We're not taught that in school. I feel we could have been taught all this that I'm talking about in school, but we wasn't. You know why? Why would they want you to know your true self? Why would they want you to question? Why would they want you to heal yourself? They make money off of you being sick. They make money off of you being lost. They make money off of you not knowing yourself. They want you to focus on any and everyone else but you. What do you think celebrities are? If you're so focused on what Cardi B is doing and Beyonce is doing, how do you have time for yourself? How you more on their tip than you on your own tip? It's these type of things that I like having conversations about. It's these type of things that interest me. It's these type of things that I question. Why was we not taught how to heal our body in school? Why was we not taught how to cleanse our chakras in school? Why was we not taught how to deal with our trauma in school? Why was we not taught how to heal ourselves? It would be no such thing as hospitals if we all knew how to heal ourselves. It would be no such thing as a grocery store if we knew how to grow our own foods. But we give so much power to outside things. We give so much power to the government. You can't complain about the government if you haven't fully became independent. And when I say independent, growing your own food. When I say independent, having your own health care. And when I say your own health care, having your own regiment to heal yourself and your family. We can't complain about the government and your kids still in school. Not to judge you, but you're complaining about the government, but you allow your kids to go to school and they control majority of things on earth. We gotta be aware of these type of things. The subconscious mind is always talking. But it's up to you to pay attention. It's up to you to listen. It's up to you to want to know. Now, I got some books, y'all. I don't know where my other book at, but if y'all want to work with your subconscious mind, look, she got her little, got covered it. If y'all want to work with your subconscious mind, this is one of the books. Especially if you're feminine. Because this book talks about the dark moon. And when I say the dark moon is the new moon. It's the dark moon. It's not there. You can't see it. It's dark, right? The shadow. It's connected to the subconscious mind, and it's connected to the feminine aspect of yourself. Regardless if you're a male, we all have feminine and masculine energy. It's an energy, not a gender. So in this book, they talk about how due to suppression of the divine feminine, due to suppression of the subconscious mind, we have forgot the true ways of the subconscious mind. We have forgot the true ways of the moon. We have forgot these ways of the ancients. So this book is an amazing book if you want to tap in to yourself, if you want to tap in with the unseen, the unknown, the hidden, because all it is hidden information. It's all it is, hidden information. And it's only hidden until you seek it. But if you don't ever seek it, it will continue to remain hidden. Is my brain bad just because it's in the dark? Is my heart bad just because I can't see it in this enclosed in darkness? No, it's not. Just because something's in the dark doesn't mean that it's bad. They say, let it be light. Doesn't that mean that it was dark before light? What if darkness is just another spectrum of light? It's something to question. Another book is, it's raining, y'all. Another book is As a Man Thinketh. As a Man Thinketh. I've talked about, and it's not a long book, y'all. This book got 25 pages. You can finish this book in a day if you really wanted to. If you really wanted to tap in with yourself, you could finish this book in a day. No excuses. The only excuse that you got is the ones that you give yourself. If you want to tap in to your mind and start changing your mind and shifting how you feel about yourself and shifting how you feel about your reality, this is the book for you. Because in the book, The Kabbalion, which I don't know where is it at right now. In the book, The Kabbalion, it's similar to this, but it's not this. It's like downstairs. But in the book, The Kabbalion, it talks about all is mine, right? And if all is mine, that means everything starts with your mind first. The universe is mine. That means how you feel, what you think, manifests into the universe. As well as it talking about the subconscious mind, because we think that we can use our conscious mind to change our lives. But in reality, everything goes through the subconscious mind. So that book alone would teach you about the laws of the universe. I mentioned the laws of cause and effect, which is in that book, The Kabbalion. I will link it somewhere in the video, as well as the law of rhythm. I talked about the law of rhythm in my last video. Everything has ups and downs. If something's up, it must come down, right? As well as the law of correspondence. All these different things are left here for us to tap in within ourselves. all these tools, all these breadcrumbs. All they are breadcrumbs. But we got to be aware of what's happening. We got to see the bigger picture. We have to know that it's a bigger picture to begin with, though. I hope that y'all got something from this video. I hope that y'all learned something. I hope that y'all understood what I was saying. If y'all have any questions about what I was saying, y'all can drop y'all questions below and I will answer them on the next video. Or I may come back and answer them in the comments. Don't be scared. I thank y'all for all the bookings, all the beautiful goddesses that has been booking on my website, as well as everyone that has been ordering my self-love journal. I have to reorder some because I am sold out at the moment, but I do have my online digital self-love journal that you could download to your phone, as well as I got an email the other day about donations. So I have put below in my past videos as well over the weekend, I will have a my Cash App below since someone asked about can they give donations. I thank y'all and I love y'all. Until next time, Healing Honey, peace.